Hello and welcome back to another episode of Wait But How. Today I have my sweet mother in the hot seat, in my tiny seat. I sit on a kid chair in here and I gave her my kid chair so she could talk about a few insights she's had recently, and we're excited to get into it. These topics are extremely relevant and really good. She sat us down a couple days ago, her daughters and daughter-in-law, and she had her phone out. You know, she's serious when she brings notes to a meeting. And she had her notes, and she wanted to remind us of things. She wanted to teach us some things that she had observed and been reminded of. She just watched her grandkids for a week, not mine. I wish mine, but my sister went on a trip.
I have watched your kids too.
Not for a week, not for 10 days. And don't worry, I'm excited to cash in on that, because that is, she's a live-in nanny. She goes with her husband.
Well, your kids are littler too. And I've watched them pretty.
I know, but 10 days, 10 days is nice.
And probably like 4 days is like 10 days.
10 days,
Yara.
depending on the kid's age. That's true. So
2 days with Jaxie could be like a month.
Whoa. Now you're offending me. So the reminders she had, or the thoughts that came to her mind during that week with teenagers. I mean, she was with, my sister's kids range from 5 to 16. 17.
This time was a whole week. The kids were starting school, and I thought, this is so good. There's a lot of things that I would like to share with them that I think will be very useful. And one of the things that I think is amazing about my observations, of course, I'm a mother. I was a mother of 4 beautiful children. Can I pause right there? And I truly loved being a mother. I loved the role of motherhood, and I was very inquisitive. I wanted to learn. I wanted to figure out things when when things were not working out. I would read, take class, whatever it took to make things work, to make this part of my life successful. So I was very serious about it. And I almost feel like crying right now. But as a grandmother, I feel that sense of urgency also, and gratitude that my girls allow me and trust me to care for the kids in different situations. Love them, love being with them. And I could probably start with the basics of life.
Let's do that.
This is wisdom that I have learned from my grandmothers and my mother. But my mother used to say, be careful not to give your children so much that they can't even handle. If they can't handle the basics, if you give them too much, you are spoiling them. And they don't understand what they need to understand. And what is that? Gratitude, service, loving, caring for others, because you become an entitled child. Mm-hmm. So what are the basics of life? A roof over your head. If you have a roof over your head, be grateful for it. And always be grateful for it. And the other one is clothing. Do they have what they need? The other one is a good education. And make sure that they do have a good education, that they love learning. The other one is teach them to love God and lead them always in everything you do. Lead them always to God.
So if you can do those things as a mother and help them understand those things, then
No, you understand it first. You understand that
You
your
need to.
job as a mother is to give them those things. Sometimes we are so sad because you can't take him to Disney. You spread out so much because you want to give them the name brand clothing or the trips or the fancy things. Wait a minute. Let's go back to the beginning. Do they have a roof over their head? Over their head? Then be grateful. Take care of it. Teach them the basic principles of those things and teach them to be grateful for that roof over their head. Okay, do they have a bed to sleep in every night? Yes, be grateful for that. Teach them to be grateful for that.
how do you teach
Make their bed.
how do you teach a kid? How do you show a kid how blessed they are?
You remind them. You in prayers, you remind them. And like by the way that you treat things, you show them respect. You are the mentor. You are the master that need to understand these things, these principles. This is why the danger of this generation is you have so much, you don't understand the basics, and you're not grateful for the basics.
As the mom.
As the mom, and sometimes you're unhappy. And so unhappy you just don't even realize, hey, you do have so much. Be grateful for the basics of life, and teach your children to be grateful for their bed. You make your bed. You make your bed, and by having a bed made, you show the Lord that you're grateful for that. And of course, they don't know what is not to have a bed, but it's still your job to teach them to be grateful for that bed. Another thing about a roof over your head is that's your home. This is the place what protects you from the weather, from so many things. You invite the Lord in every way in this beautiful place. And you want it beautiful. And you want His Spirit to be in that home.
Yeah.
So you treat it as such.
Yeah.
And anyone that comes to your home is welcome because you want that Spirit to permeate in people's lives too.
I think all moms want a clean home. Like, we want our houses to be clean and tidy. Like, that idea sounds so nice, but it seems so unachievable with little humans that are wrecking and destroying your house all day long.
I think a lot has to do with the perspective that you have and the boundaries that you place. And I used to tell my kids, a place for everything and everything in its place. And so we have the area for them to play. We have the area, to eat. And so there were areas, and they learned to respect that. And so a place for a place for everything and everything in its place.
And you're talking about how we have so much. Like, there's so many toys, so many, like, clothes, and the laundry room. It's just like piles and piles and piles. I heard a girl say she's really good at cleaning, and she's a influencer, or she's a TikToker, but she says, if you cannot keep your house clean, you have too much stuff.
Yeah.
And if the kids can't keep their own room clean, they have too much in there.
Yeah.
So I do think that if you're finding that there's more of a mess than it being tidy, then that is a good indicator of let's declutter.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of stuff. Let's
Just
make
basics.
it easier for
Go
us.
to the basics, or you set them out.
You set them up for failure.
Set them out for failure.
Yeah, which is sad.
It is sad.
Because
it's overwhelming.
Yeah, a little kid does not know. I mean, if us as moms don't have the skills to keep a house clean and in order, like, it's really hard to come up with systems. At least for me, my personality type, like, I have found that has been one of the biggest struggles for me as a mom, of like creating systems and bins and labeling and laundry room systems to like stay on top of what it is to manage a home. Imagine a little kid trying to manage all their toys, literally bins and bins. I mean, we have we could fill a whole room of bins with the toys that they have, and then telling them go clean the playroom.
It's too much.
Too much.
It's too
for
much.
a little kid.
I believe that children need more time with their parents playing than toys.
Yeah.
And teach them to play games and have fun with them until they get the hang of it, and you stay out of their way, and they can have fun for a long time.
Simple.
I mean, I remember jumping rope with the kids and teaching them how to row, or a little song or something. And then after that, once they got the hang of it, they didn't need me.
Yeah, or
so I step up, hopscotch or jacks, or I mean, just simple games. And it's the time that they need more than abundance of games or toys that in the end they'll end up playing with us. Sometimes it just mess things up. They make messes.
Yeah.
They don't know how to play.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. It's too much because you have such a little time with your children. You want them to perfect the basics, master the basics.
Yeah. And one of the basics was to keep your house in order.
There is a word that for a mother, for a woman, in English, the woman that takes care of her home. In English, is homemaker. In Spanish, I love the word in Spanish, or the term is ama de casa. Is the one that loves her home. Ama de casa. And that's the greatest title that a woman can have. And there's a lot of science in that title of ama de casa. And that title of ama de casa has become diminished. It has become almost insulting, as like the servant. You are the master. You are the mentor. You are the one. That's your first. It within the in the family, your place is to take care of your home, and to teach your children little by little to do the same. And you model that to them. You model that to them. And again, you learn to master those things. The simplicity of taking care of a home.
Okay, so if they have messy rooms, if your kids have messy rooms, and you're their mentor, how do you teach them?
You work with them. You do it, and it should be so simple. You should do it in 5 minutes. That is not a pain for them. It's not a chore.
It's not a day-long.
It's a day-long thing. You get, and okay, let's clean up. This is where you become. I consider the women also should have a title of fairies or tidiers, because you should be able to help tidy what they do. If they say they made their bed and sometimes it doesn't look very straight, or looks like it's wrinkled or whatever, or the sheets are bunched up inside, sometimes you can say, let me help you. Okay, this is how you do it. You stretch it with them and fluff up the pillows. Or you can sometimes wink, good, thank you so much for helping make our home beautiful. And but it should be very, very simple. It shouldn't be a pain to keep our room clean. Another thing that I had a rule with my kids: the bedroom is to sleep, or you can have a few books to read at night. But a bedroom is not another playroom. You can, if your house is smaller, then be careful and also create a space for the toys. But where when you're done, those toys go in that place.
Yeah.
So again, a place for everything and everything in its place. It should be very quickly, like 5 minutes, boom, done. And it should be a pleasure to look at, very, very simple.
Yeah.
And yes, I was telling my girls the other day about the 80-20.
Yeah, I like that.
Mothers will do, I think in this American society, women are trying to force their children to be independent. You have to be independent, you have to wash your clothes, you have to, and just kind of force. But it's not this motherly, like, we're doing it together. You help me do it and we work together. I like, we had a dishwasher. We never used it because I enjoyed washing dishes with my kids. Every all the kids would take turns drying, washing, putting away. The funnest time for me to hear my kids laugh and tell stories, and it didn't seem like a chore. And who's gonna set up the table? Let's pick up, put the dishes away. And interestingly enough, Audie, how many gatherings do we have at home? I don't tell my kids, it's time to pick up, it's time to clean up.
At your house.
At my house, when we are having gatherings.
Yeah.
The girls know. You guys know. You're washing, you're putting away, it happens naturally.
Yeah.
And
I think teaching the kids or helping your whole family, even your spouse, understand that this is a group effort. You said, thank you for making your bed and making the house feel better. It's like everyone's contributing to this overall
to invite
goal.
the Spirit of God in your home.
And it's a feeling. It's definitely like a vibe you're creating in the home.
Because who blessed you with that home?
God.
So who do you think? God.
But you thank him by the way that you're taking care of it. But I think like when it comes to us at your house, when it's time to clean up after a huge party, it's like we know that it will take 30 minutes if all of us kind of wipe a table clear. Someone's clearing, someone's sweeping, someone's putting all the chairs back, and then it's done. Versus one person just like, that's when it feels like Cinderella. Exactly. That's when you start to feel like a slave to your house. And I know, everything you're saying sounds so nice. And it's so much easier said than done, because so easily I can slip into this Cinderella, I'm a slave. I feel like a slave.
A lot of women do feel.
I feel overstimulated by the mess, by the clutter, by the stuff.
Okay, so the question is, are you setting yourself up for failure?
With
do you have
too much stuff?
Yeah, too much stuff? Then simplify. Simplify. There is a story and that I would like to share. And I remember going to my aunt's house in Peru. And she had a very, very simple home. And her kitchen was just the basics of a kitchen. Little kitchen. And I went to visit for a little bit. I wasn't going to stay for too long. I was going to come back later. But anyway. And I said, I will come back and see you later this week. I just wanted to see you and say hi today. She says, can I serve you something? She wasn't prepared to feed me or anything, but the fastest thing that she could feed me was a hot dog, which is funny because we don't have hot dogs in Peru, but for some reason she offered me a hot dog and this yummy bread that is different than hot dog buns from here, from the United States. Anyway, and I said, okay. And she said, and she started fixing, and she added these sauces that she had made and this bread, and she warmed up the bread, and it was the yummiest hot dogs. And I don't eat hot dogs.
I know, it's so weird.
The yummiest hot dog that I have ever had. And the love was in every particle of that bread. Mm-hmm. And I thought that just stayed in my mind. In such a simple little kitchen, and the love was with she prepared it with just resonated so much, because that means I could do anything. If I have a sink, a stove, and a refrigerator, and a little bit of food, and you fix it with love, that's the environment that you wanted. That hospitality, that love. And I love that. You just keep it simple.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a full-blown kitchen with like a magazine, the ones in the magazine. You, in the simplicity, you can do just the yummiest things. Or the most beautiful things.
Yeah, and I think kids or adults, they don't need it to be complicated. I think we have overcomplicated this, feeding our kids so much. Like, for the first day of school, you see, like, which I think this is very cute. No offense to anyone that does this, because it's very cute, but the expectation and the pressure to do this, like for the first day of school, they hang the banner back to school, and then it's like a placemat, and then the pencil plate in the plate in the shape of a pencil, and then all the cutouts of the thing, and then the donuts on a platter with with the banners for the first day of school. So I'm like, oh my gosh, but you could make a little breakfast with so much love that they could go to school with their heart. I mean, and I think it's also something to take into account is what a mother's love language is, because to some girl that could, like, to a creative girl, that could be her love. So I guess, like, whatever,
without poo-pooing all that.
Yeah, because, like, simplifying in a way that if I have love in what I do and it's manageable,
then you can add the little banner. You know, if you have the basics, you will be able to do all of the other things. But this is another thing that I wanted to tell you that actually I remember today. And it was...
good thing we have tissue for you today.
I know.
You're just so emotional.
This is so dear. Seriously. First day of school. Love learning, right? And I wanted my kids to know that they were loved. That it's so exciting that they were going to go to school to learn. I had the tendency to not give so much power to what the world was dictating to me. First day of school, back to school, all the sales and whatever. And I'm like, my kids have clothes and they're cute. And I would do, the little ponytails, the little bows, whatever. And I made sure that they had their clothes. They was clean. Their clothes were clean and ironed, and it was a special day for them. But I did not give power to what the world was telling or dictating to me.
What back to school should look like.
Yeah, what back to school should look like. Yeah. And so school is about learning. And so there are the commercial things that, that are telling you all these things. Be careful. Be careful. And I would say, master the basics again. Make sure that you have time to sit with your children around the table and have breakfast. That you didn't spend so much time and energy trying to get all the school stuff and everything that the world is telling you, and you miss out on the most important things. To me was let's get back to our things like scripture time in the morning, gathering. Not that we didn't do those things, having breakfast together.
But just the transition from summer to back to school, it was like, okay, we're gonna meet
schedule
earlier.
A little bit more strict.
Yeah, we had less time, so you would do them shorter. I remember when in high school we would gather at the top of the stairs, and we would all just sit on the carpet, and it was just like a quick thing. You would wake us,
adapt.
Yeah. So one of the things that you think is very important, maybe a hill you would die on, is gathering together as a family every single day.
In the morning.
As much as you can, in your opinion, but at least once a day.
To me, I can't. Start with the Lord. Be grateful to him. Know that you're dedicating that day to him. That's important to me.
As a family.
As a family. You're a family. Otherwise, you're a restaurant, you're a hotel, whatever.
Yeah.
Start with the Lord. And at the end of the day, finish. And be grateful for it. To him. You have a teacher, you have clothes, you have food, you have all these things. And so again, that to me, that's rock solid, basic, fundamental.
So how would you start?
Oh my goodness.
So how would you start the day with the Lord with us? What would you do?
We would just gather and either breakfast time or we had a devotional. And we
would sing
a song and prayer and share scripture.
Yeah.
And anything, some Mondays or Sundays, we would gather and review what we were going to do during the week. Mm-hmm. Recitals, assignments, whatever goals that we had. And we would just make sure that everybody knew what was going on.
Yeah.
It was normal gathering. Loved it. And to me, seriously, it may sound like I'm exaggerating, but when the mornings sometimes were so fast and furious because we were trying to get things going for whatever reason, and we didn't gather, that was the saddest day for me. That was so sad because I felt like, oh my goodness, we didn't do that. And sometimes I pray with Dad, but it is that important.
Yeah.
It really is that important.
You're talking a lot about your kids being grateful. That's like the other hill you'll die on is teach your kids to be grateful. I heard someone say, you show your kids what's important to you. Mm-hmm. You show them what's important to you. You don't tell them. I mean, you could say like, education is important to me. God is important to me. But if you're not showing them, they're watching more than anything. So to me, I observed that you were always grateful for stuff. Like you didn't waste food and you were like grateful for pretty sheets, or like we would go thrifting or like garage sale shopping and you would love certain things and you were just so grateful for this little table that you would find that's a treasure. Like, look at this, like this is so beautiful. Or you'd slow down to show us the details of something and how beautiful and precious and maybe how much time someone must have took to make it or whatever,
or art in it.
Or if someone brought you something like flowers or a card or something, it's displayed. It's like you thought it was like you were genuinely so grateful that you would you still do this, you set up the card on your kitchen table because it's like such a beautiful card and it's such beautiful flowers. So I think you learned, and you keep saying this too, you learned it first. You learned how to be grateful first. And maybe you just came here grateful because that's your part of your story as an immigrant. Like you just appreciated everything more because you know what you came from. But because you were genuinely grateful and constantly emphasizing it, we saw that. And it kind of like started to build that muscle for our own,
I guess,
lives.
Something that was very important to me at birthdays, and people would bring you presents on your birthday, and I make sure that the next day you were writing your little thank you notes to the people that gave you presents.
Yeah.
Always. And sometimes we made the cards together as a family, or other times it was just you making. I would sit with you guys and make sure. And I would say that person took the time to find something for you. Mm-hmm. You show gratitude for that.
Yeah.
I think that is very important.
But I think that helps a kid not be entitled and not expect, because you were constantly like stopping us in that situation where you could easily just not say a word about the pile of presents that a kid gets after his birthday. and you would say, that person went out to a store and made an extra effort to, you would explain to us the process that an adult would go through to get you something.
In a simple way, yeah.
But I understood that at an early age, so I think it helps you just be super grateful as a kid or teenager to adults in your life that are blessing your life.
Yeah.
And then you want to say thank you. You want to be grateful because they're like, yeah, they're,
I had a daughter that would write, sometimes would take a little longer because she wanted to write a little longer thank you notes, and it would be overwhelming. And I said, just make it sweet and make it short and sweet. And and I would say, I will send them. I'll make sure I'll deliver them, but just write them down.
Yeah,
and
you
I
help
will
us
deliver.
with the process.
Yeah,
of it. Yeah,
and so make it as sweet of an experience as possible. You are teaching a child; they're not adults yet.
Yeah.
So when you were married, and also for your, your gifts, your wedding gifts, I always said, make sure that you print your thank you notes and you send your thank you notes.
Yeah, I did, by the way. So when you talk about when you're raising kids, you want to see the good in your kids, because it's very easy to see all the things that they're doing wrong.
Yeah.
And all the ways that they bug you, the bad habits they get into, just the little creatures that they are, it starts to really affect you.
Yes.
So you're saying we need to look for the positive in each kid.
It is so easy to burn yourself out if you keep they're going to be doing 100 things wrong during the day. They didn't put their dish away, they didn't say thank you, they didn't make their bed, they were fighting with the sister. I mean, there's so many things. And look for the positive as much as possible. So if they didn't make, if they didn't make their bed and it doesn't look the best, just be grateful. If they did 10% or 20%, you go and tidy, the 80%. And otherwise, cleaning the room or helping around the house or, being at home is tiring, because for them to hear you nag all the time.
And it's tiring for you to nag them.
Yes. So find ways to be positive.
I like the idea of the mentor. Because
you're the master, they're the apprentice.
They're not the masters yet.
No.
And
don't treat them like it.
Don't be mad at them like they're supposed to know don't be mad at a 15-year-old. He's not a professional cleaner.
Yeah. Well, my kid, the other kid, I had a kid that was immaculate. He liked order, and he was very meticulous.
And that's going back
very
to what
meticulous.
I said. It's going to depend a lot on their personality types.
A lot of it has to do with personality.
Okay, so if you have any closing statements for a young mother who's in the thick of it right now, what would you say to her?
Keep it simple. Master the basics.
Keep it simple, stupid. No?
No.
Too harsh.
Too harsh. Keep it simple. Master.
Sometimes.
I don't say that, stupid. I don't say that.
Not to us, but.
No, Dad says that.
Dad says that.
It's because it's a line from a movie. Okay, so master the basics. And I didn't even get to the other basics.
I know.
Kind of.
That'll be a part 2.
Of the 5 important principles. But I would say master the basics. Declutter. Get rid of what you don't need. And don't set yourself up for failure. Don't set your children up for failure. And you'll be happier. And be an ama de casa. Love your home. Be grateful for your home. And this is the place where your children are being nurtured. Love it. Find ways that make this home a place of learning, a place of where they can develop their faith. where they can feel secured and where they can remember your voice as something that brings them home. And when I say bring them home,
oh no, you're gonna cry again, Mom.
I do. I just
Even the mention
when
of
I
this
say
song.
that bring him home is like home to their heavenly Father, to their sweet spirits, that we're in a beautiful, comfortable place. Create that place for them. But start with the simple things, just the very basics, and I think you'll be happier. This is another thing that my little Audie was. I had the kids have they each have their little notebook of things that they have to do during the day, and she loved her little notebook and all the things that she did, and she would check off all her to-do list,
My tasks for the day.
all her tasks. And my son had a hard time doing her to-do list,
Doing his to-do list.
doing his to-do list. And I kid you not, I didn't think he was going to get the system. And anyway, in his senior year, I don't know what happened to him, but he became so meticulous, so detail oriented, that he lived with his to-do list. And to this day, he's very, very meticulous. So don't give up.
Yeah, there's hope.
They'll probably take a little longer than you want them to, but be loving, keep it simple, master the basics, and at least in your home, if you could do the basics, they will sprout someday. Mm-hmm. Who knows when, but they have the foundation. And be careful.
If anything, they just saw it happen.
Yeah.
Like if anything, worst case scenario, they're complete slobs. They don't learn any of the skills, or you think they didn't learn. At least they saw what it looks like to do it.
They can remember home.
Yeah.
Home. That's a place that will always be in their heart.
Yeah.
Home.
And then they'll know how to create a home themselves.
Yeah.
And then love it too.
We had in our Lavan house, this was a common comment that we usually get, and I say this in a very humble way. When people would come there was something in the living room that people would come and they would sit and they would say, "Oh, it feels so good here. It feels so special." Sometimes, I mean, but it was a lot of the time. And I don't know if it was the color of the wall. I don't know if it was the setup of the feng shui. I don't know what it was, but it was a sweet feeling. And I always make sure, as the ama de casa, that it was my main job. First of all, for my children.
Yes.
And then for whoever would enter our home.
Yeah.
I loved it, and I still do.
Yeah, because I think if you can make your home a place of peace, people that come can feel that peace, and then they can leave your home with a little bit of that. And that's like a gift you can give people. Is like the love of God is here. There's peace, there's cleanliness, there's order, it's simple. It's like a breath of fresh air in someone's house. First for your kids, but then like for any visitor that comes in and out, they get to take a little piece of it.
Yeah.
And
in your case, Adi, yes, you do your ability to create order in that sense was that you had your own order. And
I did it in my own way.
Yeah, she did it in her own way. In
my own time.
In her own time. And I also learned to respect that. But let it be said that she was taught. and she was modeled and taught and everything. But
I think that's a cool thing to be able to say as a mom when you're done raising your kids. Like, I taught them well. That is cool. I want to be able to say that. I taught them because sometimes you haven't taught them, and that's where it's like, like that's where maybe the guilt comes, or the shame of, it's like, dang, I never took the time to whatever. But I think when my kids are all out of the house, I want to just be able to sit in peace and know I taught them the basics. I tried.
Yeah, and this is a very important part, generational culture, where again they have so much they need to again master the basics and then build from there.
Yeah.
And it's something that you teach it by example. I don't know.
Okay, well,
I don't know what else you want to say.
That's all. That's perfect. Thank you for all of your wisdom, and we have a little more to get into, so we'll do a part 2. But I love you. Thank you.
You too.
Thank you for opening your